Hi, my name's Ian. I'm an engineer, I'm a dad, and probably like many people, I have been worried. It's a nagging worry, climate change. Um, we use so much oil, so much coal, and the rate of replacement just isn't that fast. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Um, but it's just, created this sense of dread in me. So I started recording these videos thinking about a topic that has me looking on the bright side. All right. So this molecule here, it's made of nitrogen. Nitrogen, the air is 78% nitrogen. Nitrogen's easy to get. And hydrogen. Hydrogen, it's in water. Hydrogen is also easy to get. And through electrolysis with green energy. And this molecule, you can store it, you can ship it, you can produce it with green energy, and you can burn it, right? So you can use it as a fuel. It's a fuel. And noticing this molecule has caused me, some positive feelings. So let's explore one fuel use of this. Okay. Um, here's something I didn't know until I started looking. This is just from Wikipedia. Uh, the price of onshore wind, right? So you put up a wind turbine someplace that's pretty windy. It's great. It's great. It's some of the cheapest power we have. Solar's very close as well. And that's fantastic, right? So we have cheap, totally green power. The issue with wind or solar is it's intermittent, right? Solar, you're not making solar overnight. So what do you do to fill in the holes when the wind isn't working? Nuclear, it used to be the cheapest. It's now a little bit more than some of these other things. Nuclear is okay for baseline, so overnight. It doesn't peak very well. You can't turn it up, which is where coal and gas come in. Natural gas. These types of plants you can turn off, you can turn up, but they're pretty expensive compared to onshore wind. So I thought, well, how expensive? Could you replace the coal with ammonia? Could you use onshore wind to create fuel and then burn that fuel when you need it, right? When the wind's not blowing, when the sun's not shining. So far, the math looks roughly pretty good. So according to the research I can find, to make ammonia from electricity, historically, they made ammonia from natural gas, not like that, but to make it from electricity, you have about a 70% efficiency. So if you put in, 1 unit of power, you get a 70%, 0.7 units of power. Not bad considering this is a fuel that can be stored, shipped, trucked around. Building an additional ammonia tank is a lot cheaper than building a giant battery bank, right? So extra storage is pretty cheap. Then if you take that ammonia, you could use it in trucking, you could use it in lots of places, but if you took that ammonia and used it to generate electricity, so you put it into a gas fire plant, okay? It looks like that would be 50 to 60% efficient. So of the energy that's contained in that ammonia, 50 to 60% is turned back into electricity. Okay? So, I mean, there's losses, but let's go on to think about this. Okay, so wind, to ammonia, which we can store. And then we use that ammonia to run peak power, to smooth it out. 24 to 31% efficient, quarter to a third, somewhere in there. How's that compare? Is that good, bad, totally economically crazy, or maybe kind of smart? Well, these are the rates from the Ontario Energy Board. Okay, let's just use these as a proxy for costs. Okay, so ultra low overnight is 2.8 cents, and peak power is 28 cents. So 10 times. So roughly, if you used 2.8 cent power to make ammonia, you're now coming in at about 10 cents. So, sorry, to make the ammonia, 2.8, 70% loss. So by the time you take the ammonia, the ultra low overnight, make ammonia, and then make gas power with it, okay, you go all the way through back to being electricity, it's about 10 cents, right? And that compared to 28 cents is wildly cheap, right? If you could charge 28 cents for your 10 cents power, you'd be making 18 cents profit, right? Or almost 280% return. That's fantastic. Okay. So, I mean, obviously I'm skimming over a ton of complexity with power grids, but roughly speaking, it looks like it might make economic sense to use wind, to use solar, to make ammonia, store it, and use it in gas-fired plants to make electricity when you need that peak power. And that process is totally green. That's pretty cool, right? It's good and profitable. That's great. So yeah, this is why I'm feeling maybe a little bit optimistic. Okay, cheers.